Hey, this is Gabrielle. I just thought I'd drop by real quick and talk about neck pain before it gets to be late in the day. Um, I've had 3 whiplash injuries as a young adult. I kind of looked at it like it was a wake-up call from the universe, but 3 times 60 miles an hour, boom. I shouldn't have been able to do most of what I've done over the course of a lifetime, given the injuries that I've had. However, what if the I think what if the things that you're told that you should stretch and that you should do all these exercises with your neck are not actually helpful? What if the opposite is true? What if doing a very, very small amount of things that increase your range of motion is more effective than challenging the limitation? Here's my basic premise. If a muscle is injured, it needs rest. If you have other muscles that are working well, then the focus needs to be taken off of the muscles that don't work well. But more than that, uh, there are things you can do that allow you to activate the muscles so that the nervous system perceives that it's safe without directly challenging the limitations. And what I found over 25 years of working with people who have muscle injuries, and myself included, improving my own muscle injuries, is that muscles are a little bit like children. They do not like to be forced. They like to be asked, coerced. They like play. They like to be invited to participate. So one way to do that is also to work with the wiring of the way that the eyes and the jaw and the neck are all currently wired together. So if you touch the back of your neck, you'll find your skull, the hard part of the back of your neck, and then go down from there and feel the soft part just below the hard part, which is where the muscles attach to the skull. And then open your jaw a couple times and see if you can feel how your jaw actually attaches to the back of the neck. And you may have to play with where you put your fingers. You're not going to feel it if you put them right at the very back of your neck, but perhaps a little bit behind your ears. It's a slight thing, it's a subtle thing, but if you want to heal in a way that's subtle, that's smarter, not harder, then you need to really activate that ability to feel these subtle things. So now I'm going to ask you this. If you have a headache or you're actively in pain, don't try this. This is about preventative maintenance that will keep you from experiencing headaches and pain over the long run. And it's about rewiring your brain. So if you look up and to the left a few times, but only go very gently in a small way, because the muscles of your eyes are very small, right? So you don't want to go and make it a big movement. Um, and I'm realizing here that you're seeing a mirror image of what I'm doing. So if I look, yeah, up and to the left for me is what you're seeing is up and to the right. So that makes it a little confusing. But the point being, and normally this is not demonstrated, so maybe I won't demonstrate it just because it happens to be visible. It's not demonstrated because it's a sensory motor way of increasing the mobility of your muscles by rewiring or making you more conscious of the way that you're wired and augmenting that. So let's go back to just what you can do here. So just briefly, I'm going to keep this short. Briefly, just take your eyes up and in one diagonal and do that, and then relax them. So as you relax them, they go back to a neutral place, right? So take them up and in the same direction several times, and then just relax your eyes for a moment and look in the middle distance, because that is a way to rest your eyes. And then take your eyes up and to the other side. So if we started with this side, start with the other side. So up and to the opposite diagonal. And then take your eyes down towards your shoulder at an angle. And do that a few times. And each time come back to a neutral position where you're just resting your eyes for a second. There are reasons for these rests. And then pause for a moment. Look down or look around. Look at the middle distance. Look what's above, what's to your one side of you and to the other. And now just take your neck and look a little bit to the right and look a little bit to the left. I do this all the time when I work with people live. You know, I have to reverse things, but I'm not quite sure how this works in video. I haven't thought about that. Oh, yes. So, if you take your head a little bit to one side, but leave your eyes towards the center, and don't go as far as you can go. Don't challenge the envelope. Don't stretch. Just take your eyes slightly to one side as you look in the opposite direction. And then rest your eyes. And take your eyes the other direction as you keep your eyes towards what's in front of you or what's in front of your body. As your head turns to one side, keep your eyes towards what's in front of your body and go in and out of that just 2 or 3 times very gently. And then look in the middle distance to rest your eyes. And then just check and see if it's a little bit easier to turn in both directions. So I just wanted to put it out there that there are these very simple, quick things that you can do that will improve how your neck feels. And many of them are related to the jaw as well, so, and to the eyes. So there's more than one way to work with the nervous system to interrupt tension patterns. And one of the main reasons I'm coming on is to let you know that we're going to do a live Zoom. Myself and my colleague, Patricia Holman, we're going to do an Awareness Through Movement lesson on Zoom, one this Friday and one the Friday after. And you're invited to try it. We're doing these little free lessons for 2 weeks. They start at 9:30 in the morning Pacific time, end at about 11, because we'll give you a little bit of context and we'll take you through some lessons and we'll check in afterwards. And this is actually a continuation of a live class that we've been teaching in Jacksonville in Southern Oregon, which has come to a close after 10 weeks. We'll do it again in the fall. But yeah, I will post the details so that you can register for the live event. I'll post them below this video. And you're cordially invited. If you just register on Zoom, it will give you the exact dates and times. And I would love to help you understand how can you work with your neck and how can you work with your own neck so that you regain a sense of control over your own outcomes in terms of pain management, in terms of mobility as you age, and in terms of understanding how your own body works, because I find it frankly a little bit insulting how I obviously I work within the system, you know, I do work for people so that I can also get insurance payment, but in my own practice, there's more freedom because the insurance industry controls what people are allowed to do in a professional capacity, whether they're a chiropractor or a physical therapist or a massage therapist or whatever it is that they're doing. When you learn how to do for yourself, you don't have any of those restrictions. And so you can make changes that are transformative because the brain has this capacity to rewire itself if you expose it to the right conditions. I'm sure you've heard of the book by Norman Deutsch, The Brain That Changes Itself. this is what we'll be doing in those Zoom calls. We'll be giving you the key to creating the conditions that allows the brain to change itself so that you can remain mobile and agile and more free to move than you may have been in years. And it's based in somatic learning. Somatic learning is the primary mode of learning, contrary to what people tell you. They all think it's about intellect or they think it's about books. Those are secondary forms of learning. If you didn't have this hardwired capacity for somatic learning, you would never have learned how to walk without a book, without instructions, without anybody demoing how to do it. You figured it out through this primary kinesthetic form of intelligence that is hardwired, that you've been told is irrelevant. We're going to help you heighten that sensitivity once again so that you can move with the freedom of children, of the child that you once were. So I invite you to please take a taste test of this method called Awareness Through Movement. It was designed by Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais, who was a man ahead of his time, a physicist, a black belt in judo, a man who was a scientist and was interested in understanding how mechanics applies to a living being moving in the field of gravity with consciousness. And it harnesses all of those things. It's not just a physical practice, it's not cerebral. It involves your whole soma and helps integrate the other piece, which is that we've all been told mind and body are separate. Well, no, they're not. If that sounds intriguing to you and you want to know how to work with yourself in an inexpensive way that you can use to improve your learning for the rest of your life, your cognition even, please join us. And get registered today or tomorrow because Friday it'll be a bit chaotic. So today's Wednesday. We'll leave the registration open at least until Thursday night. All right. Thanks for listening. Nice to see you.